Hi there, welcome back for more. I'm Dustin Fowler. I'm here to talk a little bit about another issue that's been kind of plaguing education for quite some time now, especially after the pandemic, and that is teacher burnout. Teacher burnout is occurring because of a lot of different things. I was reading an article just recently that talked about the 6 reasons for teacher burnout, and there is no shortage of different types of articles and takes on this, but essentially it kind of compiles under a few different pieces of what teachers do every single day, and the lack of appreciation I think might be one of those things, lack of recognition for the work that teachers are doing. Also, there's elements of teachers feeling like they might be micromanaged or all these other things that might play into why teachers feel that level of burnout that they may be feeling, especially after the pandemic and learning loss and all these other things. So what is the answer? There are some things you can't change, but there are a lot of things you have the power to control. So what I want to do today is I want to talk to you about 7 things you can do to control teacher burnout in your life and maybe turn that around or maybe think a little bit more in the positive. Let's get started. Number 1. One of the things that I think is most important that I did in my own life whenever I kind of felt like I was stuck in a rut is you start to find new ways to teach, okay? So find a new strategy or do something new to teach the same old content, all right? So we teachers, we tend to get stuck in a groove of doing things the way that is easiest and the way that works, right? So if it's easy and it works, why change it over time? But eventually, you might want to start thinking about, is what easy and works best for our students, and is it keeping me in the mood to really want to teach this subject, or is it something that's going to make it new for you to keep you coming back year after year? And if the answer to any of those things is no, then I encourage you to find new ways to teach the same content. So if maybe you've been doing a PowerPoint presentation for this project that your students have to do, give them the opportunity to network together and collaborate with one another and create a video or a skit about that project topic instead of the good old-fashioned PowerPoint you've used all this time. Or if you are a teacher and you're looking for new ideas, rather than go it alone, why don't you do some team teaching with the math teacher, with the ELA teacher this time, so that you can make it new for you and also for your partner teacher. I bet your students are also going to benefit from having that level of collaboration, and it's going to keep them interested in the topics that you are teaching. The second thing that I've got for you in terms of preventing that level of teacher burnout that makes you kind of feel like, oh, I can't believe I gotta wake up and do this again, is attend student events. Now, I know what you're thinking, this sounds like work. I mean, who wants to go to a football game on a Friday night whenever you can be home, sitting back, chilling out, relaxing from a hard week of work that you're already feeling burnt out? The last thing you want to do is go out again. But the thing is, and the thing that I have to tell myself when it comes to thinking in this way, is that we do it for the students. If we are not teaching for our students, who are we teaching for? And one of the best ways to remember that is to go and see the great things that students have done. So I particularly do enjoy going to football games. So I think one of the things I enjoy the most is seeing concerts. Maybe the things that are typically seen as less important than sports, but the arts events and things like this, because I also did arts. I played cello today, and it was a really important part of my own upbringing, and still an important part of my life. So I like to encourage those students by going and attending their things. And then also while you're there, you get to see your other students. You get to see community members. You get to see the parents. And it makes you feel good to be able to see all the great things that your students have put together and remember why we teach. Number 3. Think about joining a PLC or taking some kind of a class, maybe a grad level class, or present in a conference or take part in a conference. Sometimes learning a fresh take on some kind of good old-fashioned professional development is a great way to rekindle that fire that you've got, that passion that caused you to go into education in the first place. I feel like in my case, we just got done with a conference within my district. I was able to go in and present, and it really fired me up to be able to see teachers eager to learn different ways that they can take things to their classrooms. One of the things I was able to teach teachers how to do is create a test in Microsoft Forms out of a test that they already have in Word document form or PDF form. And just hearing the teachers' excitement about something that is to me so simple, but for them, they had no idea you could do this, it really kind of reinvigorates my purpose here in trying to support teachers and helping students achieve their best. Any opportunity I can find to do that, I'm gonna do it. Any opportunity you can find to do that, I encourage you to do that too. If you don't know what kind of PLC you can join, or you don't have any idea really where to start on this, a good place to do is go to your admin team and ask them for how can I fit in here? What can I do to help us to achieve this goal of our school or of our district? What are some things that you think I would be good at, or that you think I bring to the table? And sometimes just by asking someone else can open that door for you to be able to get a foothold into some kind of a new initiative to kind of rekindle your spirit for teaching. Number 4, this one's pretty important. Ask for help when you need it. Even at my level, even at the level of admin, even at the level of district level admin, even at the director and executive director level, sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And sometimes we need to get help with the things that we don't know so we can benefit our students better in our classroom and in our teaching. And so if you don't know something, especially if you are a new teacher and you're coming in, maybe this is your first or second year, find those people that can offer that support to you, whether that's your department head, whether that's your admin or your assistant principal or your principal or some friend down the hallway. Find out who you can go to get the support you need, and don't be scared to ask about it, because here's the thing, is that no one expects our students to be perfect. They have to learn, right? In the same way, no one expects you to be perfect either. Everybody needs help and needs support. Find out where you can get it from. Number 5, and one of the absolute most important things in this list, not that everything's not super important that I've said so far, but this one right here, again, I'm talking to new teachers, but I'm also talking to veteran teachers as well. You need to stay away from negativity. So if you are continually stuck around chronically negative people or chronically negative conversations, find a way to distance yourself from those conversations that don't benefit anybody. It's really, really easy to focus on things that are bad in our lives. It's easy to focus on lack of recognition, and it's really easy to focus on discipline issues and on how this student can't read and what can we do about this student. And that's a very, very defeatist mentality. That's something that will absolutely lead to burnout, because it convinces you that there's nothing you can do about it. And remember, we don't want to focus on the things we can't control, but rather we want to focus on the myriad of things we can control. So if you got a situation where you can get yourself out of those negative situations or negative conversations and fill those holes, those conversations with positivity and with people that are possibilists, with people that believe you can change anyone and any student is able to learn, that's what I encourage you to do. And do that immediately. Find out where you've got to go to get around positive people that want to be advocates for change and make it happen. Number 6, I want you to find some place where you can do a little bit of research to figure out what is it that you can do that you maybe haven't thought about. The cool thing about the internet today and about YouTube and social media and all that is that it's never been easier to find out new information, whether it's something you want to teach or a new strategy or just information in general about how to do something. A good way to do this is to find internet sources that have curated information for you to be able to figure out new PD ideas or new ways to teach or new strategies and new types of free technology, whatever it might be. Figure out what those are. For me, I get that through Facebook groups, but my wife gets that through TikTok. Obviously, I'm on YouTube, and I like to surf YouTube for all kinds of ideas from other teachers that are already doing it and sometimes doing it a lot better than what I'm gonna do. And so I would encourage you to figure out what that looks like. And if you're not into the digital scene and you don't feel like you wanna go on TikTok or Pinterest or any of that stuff, find a good old-fashioned book, buy it on Amazon, read up on some of these things, and that right there in and of itself can be kind of like a new take or a new spin on something. It can motivate you to bring out your best teacher self so your students can reap the benefits of the new you. Last but not least, you want to figure out how to strike that balance between work and play. So in other words, teaching is really, really important. For me, teaching is kind of like a hobby, right? It's something that I actually actively research and do on my free time because I want to do it. And when I was classroom teaching, I always seeked out new ways of creating stuff. I created videos based on the topics I teach, hence my YouTube channel that you're watching right now. And I also used to just talk to other teachers and network and spend all my waking hours trying to figure out different ways I could spruce up my classroom. But even then, sometimes work, when you're doing that at home, it starts to kind of feel like work, or like you never really leave what you're doing at work. And sometimes you just gotta figure out how to strike that balance so that you don't always feel like you're at work, and so that you don't always feel like you never have any time for yourself. And so here's what I would suggest you do. Number one, you wanna make sure that you're taking your lunch break, all right? You only get 20-25 minutes for lunch. Take it. Don't let anybody else take that. Don't let students come in. Let that be your time where you're going to kind of chill out, eat your lunch, enjoy it, unwind, and get ready for what's next in your day. Number two, you're going to want to really take time to utilize with efficiency your planning period. If you're hanging out or you're wasting time for whatever it is that teachers do during a planning period, all these things I've done, by the way, you definitely want to make sure that you are using your planning period to maximize your time so that you can get work done while you're at work, and when you go home, you don't have to worry about work so much. That's one of the surefire ways to reduce what you take home with you. Finally, have something that you do for you. Something, maybe a hobby, maybe some kind of activity. If you've got kids, make sure that you are spending time with your kids, with your pets. For me, I like to do karate. I like to play my cello. I like to play video games. These are things that really bring me great joy. And if I don't have those things in my life, then I feel like all I ever do is work and sleep, and I start getting to where I feel burnout myself. And the last thing you want to do is have those feelings. So figure out what it is for you that you gotta do to keep yourself mentally healthy, physically healthy, and make sure that you've got that work-play balance so that you can live your best life and teach in the best way possible. So there you go. I've shared with you 7 different ways that I have found is effective towards preventing teacher burnout, at least in my own experience, and I really do hope this is helpful for you. If you find the stuff that I'm creating helpful for you, one thing that really is helpful for me is simply knowing that people are getting something out of the videos I make. And I know that by you subscribing, by you leaving comments in the comment section, let me know how you avoid burnout, whatever it might be. Help me out here so I can keep making this great content for you guys. And I hope you guys are not experiencing burnout, but if you are, I really absolutely hope that some of these techniques I shared might help you to figure out what you need to do in order to get back to the passion that you had for teaching. Guys, keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on teaching the world of students around us and making the future a brighter place for me. I personally appreciate it greatly, and I thank you for all the hard work you've done. I recognize that you guys are the greatest and that teachers are absolute godsend in our society, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.